Welcome to Baltimore. Welcome to the Real News Media Center, which is behind me. It's this whole great big red building and another white building next to us down there, where we're building studios and offices and a cafe, and we're going to show you where we're at in the construction. This is my colleague, Raleigh Hayes, who's working with us now. He's a born and bred Baltimorean. You are, aren't you?
Yes, I've been here my whole life, 21 years.
And he's now working directly with me, helping organize all this. And so let's show you the rest of the outside of the building here. So it's this whole red building here. It goes all the way down here. And that white building down there, you can see we just got our signs up. So we're coming into 235 Holiday Street, which is one of the main buildings of the new center. And you'll see down in here a bunch of our staff working. Most of everybody here is from Baltimore. Everybody here is now living in Baltimore. And this whole space is going to be a cafe. We're calling it Jacob's Ladder Cafe. And Jacob's Ladder was the code word for the Underground Railroad that slaves used to go from the South and from Maryland to Canada. And so there's kind of a nice connection. And in fact, the theme of the cafe is going to be the history of Baltimore and Underground Railroad, the fight against slavery, and sort of some similar fights that are taking place today. So there's a lot of space on this floor of the 235 building. This cafe is going to be the whole front half of this, and we'll show you what's happening here. On the second floor of the building, which I'll show you in a few minutes, we're going to have local community groups that are renting different offices, and we've given temporary space to one of the groups that's here. This is Word on the Street. They do a newspaper for homeless people. Hello, everybody. We're doing a little video tour of the building. Can we say hello? So these are the guys that do Word on the Street, and they're going to be moving up to the second floor someday when it's ready. And they're working out of this space now, and they've created a whole little office in here, which is kind of neat, actually. In fact, it's neater than our office is. We got to get your office designer to come work with us. All right, thanks, guys.
So we're now on the second floor of the Real News building, where local community groups such as the Baltimore Algebra Project, Leaders of a Beautiful Struggle, Word on the Street will be renting out. They all do great community work, organizing, policy research. One of them is even a homeless newspaper. And they're going to be in these different office spaces. One of these rooms will be the main boardroom. So
yeah,
for
this
conference,
is going to be a main meeting room here, and all these are separate offices for the different local community groups. And all the groups are working on issues that we're interested in reporting on. Okay, well now we'll take a look at the third floor. Here's where we're shooting now, which is the third floor of 235 Holiday. So this is our temporary studio, and here's Jessica. Jessica's getting ready to host.
Hi there.
Hi there. And as you can see, we shoot in front of a green screen, and we, for now, just do the Real News logo there. But someday we may do a virtual set once we move down to the big studio.
You're giving away all our secrets.
I know, we're giving away all the secrets. So this is, we're doing a tour of the building, and I don't know, it's getting exciting. We're getting near the big studio.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I can't wait for us to have a live audience, be able to interact with people. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a big deal. The town halls is really kind of what this is all about. Back here is our guys that are on the studio crew, some of whom, of course, behind us is Chris. He's actually shooting, so you can't see him. He's part of the studio gang. And here's Toby, and here's Martin, and here's Charles. And you guys are pretending to look very serious. Yes. Usually they do not look anywhere near as serious as this, especially Martin. Is that not true?
That's pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate, all right. All right, you guys good?
Yes, yeah. Good.
All right, cool. So they're all going to be moving over to the new studio with a lot more gear. So we're now going to show you the rest of the third floor of 235 Holiday. And there's an interesting story. A guy we know knocks down buildings for a living. So he gave us a call saying he's knocking down the NPR building in Washington, D.C. because they're moving into this new $90 million building. And the furniture is all left there. He was kind of surprised. NPR had left everything, meaning all the chairs and tables and everything, and it was all going to go in a dump. And if we wanted it, we should come get it. And we had like 2 days to get what we could. So this is what we were able to get, including some of the tables that are downstairs, but all these chairs and boardroom tables, and we even pulled soundproof doors out of the place. This is one of the nicer spaces in the building. This is the top floor of 235. If you look out the windows here, you can see Highway 83 is right outside. But it's very quiet in spite of being right next to the highway. So one of the important things we're going to be doing at the Real News over the next year or two is establishing something called the Center for Investigative and Multimedia Journalism. At least that's what we're calling it for now. It's a bit of a mouthful. But the idea is to have a collaboration between investigative journalists, policy experts, frontline workers like nurses and teachers and cops, and try to take on the question of what would you do if you ran Baltimore? What would you do if you ran Maryland? What would you do if you ran a major North American city? And with investigative journalism, in terms of news stories, but uncovering the underlying issues and reasons why there's so much violence or why the school system is in such disarray. Also investigating what are solutions, where are there some models of change that could be generalized, and start developing a whole policy framework for what would you do if you ran your city. And then as you saw, we're building this big town hall studio, and then we're going to have regular, we hope weekly, and sometime not too far in the future, daily discussions and debates about what public policy would be in the interests of the majority of the people of our city. And we're not going to talk about like what possible things could you get out of the existing politics. Certainly at the national level, politics is completely paralyzed. And at the state and even municipal levels, on the whole, let's say the machines are more or less in control of state and municipal politics. So what would you do if you had a city council, a mayor, a governor, and whose only agenda was the interest of the majority of the people, the well-being of most people? What would that policy really look like? So we're going to spend a lot of time, both in terms of our news coverage and in terms of this new center and the town hall discussions and debates. That's really the heart of what we want to do. We want to answer that question. What would you do if you ran your city, your state, and someday the country? So now we're going to go to the next building, and this floor is where the Real News offices are going to be. Over here you can see this is where the conference room is going to be. Now this building was originally built by Brinks Company, and this is the armored trucks used to be in the downstairs. That is, the studio used to be a parking lot. Upstairs here they used to keep the money. This little cutout here is where the Brinks guards used to stand, and they would have shotguns. They decide whether they would open the garage door to let the armored trucks in or not. But I'll give you a sense of where we are geographically. So as you can see, as we look out the window here, we're just across the street from City Hall. We're right downtown Baltimore, 5 minutes from the Inner Harbor. And when we do town hall debates about what people should do if they ran Baltimore, well, we're within spitting distance of where the decisions are actually made. Over here is going to be another meeting room and what we're calling a quiet room. In here is going to be a video studio. Over here, and here a video and a radio studio, and here's a artist rendering of what it's all going to look like once it's finished. So this is the big studio. It's going to seat around 200 people. In town hall format, we have a set that's going to look something like this. This space, its primarily objective is going to be used for town halls, although we're going to also be doing hip-hop nights, spoken word, and music. But town hall discussions and debates about how to solve the urgent problems facing the people of Baltimore, that's its main job. And what are some of the issues we're going to deal with?
So some of the issues are things about education, such as the school system here. Another are how to have safer communities. Things that are going on with the vacant homes in Baltimore and how that was affected by the housing market crash and how those practices actually started here in Baltimore. Another one of the main things that's really important is going to be, we're going to ask the people, what would you do if you ran Baltimore City? And what would you do if you ran the state of Maryland? And so we can use that to come up with solutions that the people come up with.
So the idea is investigative journalism leads to town hall debates, leads to more investigative journalism and more town hall debates, and we hope leads to real change. All right, this is the Real News sign on its way to the top of the building. And here it goes. And hopefully it doesn't fall down. A small family foundation that's been helping us acquire and renovate our new building in Baltimore. And that generous donor is the Kitty Plus Foundation. It's a tremendous opportunity for us, a time for real expansion in 2014. Our problem is our overall programming budget really hasn't changed. So if you like what we're doing, now's the time. We don't get much support from big foundations. In fact, 2013, we didn't have any support from big foundations, and we didn't have any the year before that either. So what does that mean? It means we rely on you. It's a leap of faith on our part. We're really expanding. We're taking on new people. We're getting ready to do much more. But it's a leap of faith that if we build it, people will come and people will donate. So if you believe in what we're doing, you want to strengthen the Real News, now's the time to click that donate button so we can take advantage of this matching grant.